Alright, hello. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to install a LAMPS, or how to turn your Ubuntu 14.04 in server into a LAMP server. Basically how to install Apache, PHP, MySQL, all to your Ubuntu machine. I'm running my Ubuntu virtual machine here. One of the first things that I want to note is I'm going to click on settings and I'm going to go to network, and I want you to note that this is attached to a NAT network. This is exactly what I want. NAT is perfect for downloading files to my virtual machine. If this was switched to bridged, I would have all sorts of issues and corrupt files when downloading to my virtual machine. But later on in this tutorial, I'm actually going to have to switch to bridge to be able to connect to my Apache server. So we are going to have to switch between NAT and bridged back and forth. But whenever you're downloading files, whenever you want to download stuff from the internet, you need to be attached to NAT. Alright, so I'm going to come in here. First thing that I'm going to type in is sudo apt-get update. This will make sure that I'm downloading the latest and greatest files to my Ubuntu server. Usually just takes a second to get all of the get all this. Perfect. Now I'm going to type in sudo apt-get install lamp text server, and then the little caret, which is above the 6. I'm going to hit enter. So that's a great command. Rather than installing Apache, MySQL, PHP, all these different things that go that are part of what makes a LAMP server, rather than installing those separately, by typing in that command, it installs them all at the same time. I need to type in a password for the MySQL root user. I'm just going to go ahead and type in my password here. It's important to be able to remember that password. Alright, so now I'm downloading and installing this LAMP server. What is a LAMP server? So a LAMP server is a set of packages or a bunch of pieces of software that will turn your Ubuntu server into a web server so that people will be able to access it from the internet, and you'll be able to like run web pages and all sorts of things. Really, Apache is the main web server. That's what's hosting the files. But a lot of times you want MySQL and PHP on board as well to do some of the processing for your website. If you have PHP pages, or if you have like MySQL databases created. So by installing the LAMP server, it just automatically gets everything up and running for your web server. All right, excellent. Okay, so now it looks like the LAMP server has properly installed on my system. So now what I'm going to need to do is shut down my system and then change between NAT and bridged. I could also just restart, but I prefer to like shut down my machine, change it from NAT to bridged, and then start my machine back up. So I'm going to go ahead and run the sudo power off command. And this is going to go ahead and shut down my virtual machine. So now that it's shut down, I'm going to click on settings, go to network, change this to a bridged adapter, click OK, and then I can go ahead and restart my server. So I can double click on it. Hit enter. Alright, looks like my server is back up and running, so I'm going to need to sign in. Type in my username and password. Alright, so you'll see when I log in, I get this IP address for ET80. Mine is 10.5.84.180. That's the new IP address for this server. I can only get that type of IP address if I'm running on a bridged network, and that's good. That's what I want. You can also see it if you type in ifconfig. We can see our init where it says ET80, and then on the second line it says init INET ADDR, which is address. This is our IP address, 10.5.84.80. Okay, so I'm going to actually go to that website right now. So I'm going to bring over an empty tab here, and I'm going to type in 10.5.84.80, and I'm going to hit enter. This page right here, this is running off of my server. So my server is in fact hosting this website. So it says it works. This is the default web page used to test the correct operation of the Apache server after installation on an Ubuntu system. Perfect. So the first thing that we should do is replace this file. It's located at the var www.html index.html. So let's go back into our server here. I'm going to type in cd, let's just go to the root directory, cd into the var directory, and then I think it's cd into the www directory. Then we need to cd into the HTML directory. Now we have that index.html, so I'm going to use sudo vi index.html to be able to modify that HTML file. We type in my password. And here we go. So here is this huge file right there. So I don't want any of this. Is like all of this is the HTML code for all this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and hit quit out of this. All right. So I still have that index.html file. I want to just go ahead and get rid of it completely. So I'm going to type in rm index.html and hit enter. So type in Y because it is a write protected. Oh, permission denied. I probably have to type in sudo rm index.html. Now when I type in ls, nothing's there, and when I hit refresh, it's like, oh no, this is all bad. I'm going to create my own index.html file actually. So I'm going to come in here now. I'm going to type in touch. Yeah, actually I have to type in sudo touch. The reason I have to use sudo is because I'm outside of my home directory. Sudo touch index.html. Now it needs to be called index.html because that's the default web page for this site. So whenever there's not like a /hi.html or whatever, whenever there's nothing there, it'll automatically go to index.html, which is what I want. So I'm going to type in sudo touch index.html. Now let's type in sudo vi index.html, and now we can modify this a little bit. I'm just going to type in some super basic HTML commands. So I'm going to hit I to insert. HTML is like the first thing that you have to have. Then we type in, let's see, head. And then we can do like title equals hi. I think that's how you do a title. And then \head. And then we need to do our body tag. And then this is a website. Reichelt is the best. Alright, let's go ahead and close that body tag. Oh. Yeah, let's close the body tag right there. Close the HTML tag there. I think that this is right. Actually, I did this a little bit wrong here. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this. Title is high. Title's high \. And then let's get rid of that tag too. Okay, so we got HTML, then we got title, and then this is our page title right here. Then we have our body, then some text right there. I can go ahead and make this really bold by going like H1 around it. \H1. Got to close the tag, close the body. All right, so it looks like we have our basic thing. So let's go ahead and save this. So just hit W to save. Now that it's been saved, I can refresh. Notice the title up there, it says hi. That is, if I take a look right here, see hi right there, H1. This is a website. Now, if I didn't want this all bold, I can come back in here and like hit insert, and I can delete this and delete that, and then hit escape:\W to save that. Let's hit refresh. All right, excellent. So that is how to get your Apache web server installed and up and running. Pretty simple, pretty easy, not too bad, right? Now, just remember, if you ever want to go back and install more software, because we're unbridged right now, because our network is currently bridged, you're going to have a very hard time installing software. You're going to get all sorts of package issues. So if I wanted to install software, I would need to shut down my Ubuntu server, change this from bridged back to NAT, and then restart my server, and then I'd be able to download stuff. All right, that's going to do it. For this particular tutorial, just go ahead and take a screenshot of your website in the background, followed by your Ubuntu server running, and I'll give you credit.